Hey guys, welcome back to the TTR Channel. I'm Joel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about the Craft Endurance 2, so let's go ahead and get after it. Okay, so for some of the tech specs, the overall drop is 9 millimeters with 27 in the forefoot and 36 in the heel. So this is actually a long run shoe, which makes it really comfortable, and it's got a lot of spring in it. So you actually don't have to worry too much about your knees, your ankles, anywhere of those hot spots you normally get for your long runs. So lots of cushioning, performs really well for the long. All right, so let's head back to the studio and talk more about the details and the experience of running in the shoe. Hi, welcome to the Time to Run channel. My name is Joel. If you're new here, thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope you'll consider sticking around. If you like what you see, please let me know by hitting the like button, leaving a comment, and even doing me the honor of subscribing. Any and all those things mean a world of support. Thanks so much. Now, if you're not new, welcome back, my friend, as always. Thanks so much for your continued support. First off, just know you can skip around the video if you want. If there's something specific that piques your interest, go for it, jump around. I just ask if you skip around, maybe come back to the start of the video once you've had all those initial questions answered. I've put a lot of work in these videos, so it means a lot if I see people watching them from start to finish. With all that being said, let's get this out of the way. Yes, the disclosures, it'll just take a second or two. Some people want to know, so anyone who hasn't already skipped ahead, this is for you. So these shoes were sent to me for free in exchange for a review. However, these opinions and observations are my own, and no one gets to preview, edit, or provide feedback prior to me posting this video here. So this is the Craft Endurance 2, an update from the previous shoe called the TTR Pro Distance, and it takes center stage in today's video. I put a lot of miles in these shoes already since these were sent to me, so let's talk about this shoe, features, specs, and where I think it fits into a rotation. Now, while the Craft Pacer keeps things cushioned for those daily and, occasionally recovery miles, those that should safely get you into the teens, mileage-wise, this shoe gets you closer to, well, the endurance category. When I took it out for long runs, it's been really forgiving underfoot, letting me easily rack up double-digit miles without being concerned at all about my post-run recovery. To me, this really excels in preparing most runners for such distances of half marathon, marathon, and ultras. Yes, I do believe these shoes would make for a great road ultra shoe. I'll get to that here in a second. But if you're someone who wants a shoe you can take out for daily miles that will be supportive yet well cushioned and easy on the joints, I would definitely be confident in recommending this one. This is one shoe that easily joins the ranks of other shoes that might work well for you in the long run category. If you can't already tell, I'm pretty excited and impressed with this pair of shoes. These are just some aspects you can expect from this review. Let's start with first impressions, including what I expected from these before lacing them up. So I thought when I was given these shoes, it would just be another max cushion recovery day shoe. And although 100% yes, these do work well for that for sure, I found these shoes turned out to be more resourceful than that one category. More on that in a second. So let's move on to the upper. This upper is very flexible. It's really breathable. It's made of a mesh. It's a one-piece engineered mesh. It's more breathable than I'd say most daily trainers and even most long run shoes for sure. Helpful for those longer mileage days, hot days, and road races even. The upper, although very thin, has demonstrated durability in all my testing, while also maintaining a high amount of flexibility throughout. Very flexible for sure. So this midsole feels uniformly the same from the heel to the forefoot because, well, it is. There's one foam here. It's made of Craft's PX foam, which is a beaded TPE compound. The looks from this neon yellow to orange adds a nice touch visually, and the striated patterns here, the curves and the outset to the midsole sections help add depth. The foam is incredibly comfortable while being relatively bouncy and well cushioned. Although I've taken it out for daily miles and other short distances, it seems to really shine when I'm using it for longer distances. And I really started to notice the positives of the shoe at the double-digit mileage, above 16 kilometers. Additionally, half marathon distances left my feet feeling happier than had I chosen a more casual daily trainer. The entire midsole foam feels uniformly the same from forefoot to heel, giving you less springy stiffness in any particular areas over others. I wouldn't say it's very versatile as far as shifting gears. I feel its sweet spot is half marathon, marathon paces, and slower. Tempo sessions feel decent in these shoes as well, although it's fairly clear based upon the name, endurance. Yet still worth clarifying, for repeats, I would reach for a different shoe. Same could be said with any kind of speed work, certainly not meant for pushing your fastest 400s or 800s. These offer no particular speed advantages. There's no carbon plate. There's no aggressive pop in the forefoot to propel you forward. It's not really all that firm in the midsole. It's a shoe you put on to maintain comfort for recovery miles, easy miles, longer sessions, and possibly even racing shoes if they fit that bill. The speed you get out of the shoe depends entirely, of course, on your own practice and strength. Similar to the Pace I reviewed recently, I'll leave the link up here in the corner. This also has a nice rocker under the midfoot to assist your stride if you choose to use that portion of the shoe. The heel cushioning seems to have a lot of give that seems to bottom out the further back you get, almost giving you much more ground feedback. So heel strikers might find it's not as supportive, and also heel strikers, you may find it feels a little squirrely in the back as well. All right, let's talk outsole. So the rubber outsole is pretty tacky, and it seems to be made of a relatively durable material. However, this is one area that concerns me of its potential shortened life, which has led me to ask if I'll even be able to reach 300 to 400 miles, not to mention further. The outsole is currently at 50 miles. There's a section here where the midsole is more visible than other areas where the slots are made. This is nearly peeking through these little sections right here with the midsole cushioning. Not to mention there's discoloration, or rather no yellow and orange, specifically on the edge between the outsole and the midsole, revealing the original TPE beaded color. Same can be seen under the arch, rather a gap between the rubber here in these places where extra midsole foam has filled the area. Cosmetically wise, appearance aside, this makes for a great uniform feel throughout my strides and even demonstrates great torsion control of the shoe. So let's head back up on the top. Let's talk about the tongue. Initially, I thought there was a lot going on with this. I think there's just too much material. I don't mean it's overly padded. Quite the contrary, it's really thin. I mean, it feels oversized, though. It's not as flexible of a material. And the materials, although they're relatively flexible, they're not more flexible than a typical tongue. On one hand, it's too tall, and on the other, it bunches up at the sides. All this amounted to me feeling like I ran out of space or room on where to send the excess. But despite this, it presented no actual problems while out on my run. After I got the shoes on, I never thought about it again. So the topper of the tongue is a water-repellent material, giving a loophole for laces. Meanwhile, the foot side of the tongue was made of a breathable, almost ripstop-like woven material, with suede on the outer edges for added comfort. Nice attention to detail there. Further down, you'll observe a gusset is made of a very soft synthetic blend fabric. The gusset is there to prevent the tongue from sliding around and bunching in odd places. Overall, the performance of the tongue was surprisingly great. So regarding the collar on the counter of the shoe, the collar at the sides is fairly thin. Meanwhile, the back has a nice flare that's more padded over here, but still keeping things relatively minimal, of course. The counter is quite stable due to this plastic piece wedged around the rear to prevent too much side-to-side movement. Overall, there's enough flexibility to ensure your ankles can settle into this nice, comfortable area of the shoes. So the fit was certainly a concern initially due to the perception of them feeling slightly oversized regarding the upper from the front of the shoe to the heel, compared to other shoes in my size 12. It just goes to show how important adjusting laces really is. Because once I allowed myself just a little bit more time to dial in the laces, these shoes became much more run ready. And so if you're interested in these, and if you can get a local retailer selling these shoes, I'd go in to get your fit more dialed in. Just make sure the retailer has a stellar return policy. So let's cover my concluding thoughts. Not only would this make for a great long distance racer, but also if you're wanting to up your weekly mileage without putting too much strain on your body, this would be a great shoe. So if you're trying to crest over the 40-mile mark in the week for the first time, I'd actually pick these shoes, and I think they'd be a great option. This shoe came out on March 1st of 2024, priced at $145. So that concludes my thoughts of the Craft Endurance 2. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure you click the like button if you did. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any content in the future from the channel. If anyone asks you what your favorite running YouTube channel is, you can tell them whatever. But most of all, I hope you tell them it's time to run. See you in the next video.